Unchained.
Gerbo Unchained. Yep, that might be more accurate.
The Wrath of Gerbo.
That's it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, hold on. Actually, you took a short rest, I
Short
think.
rest.
It was a short rest. So there has been no long rest yet.
I'm at 91.
I don't think. Oh, that's actually pretty important. I forgot about that.
Can we please? Can we please?
Yeah, I have pasted out. Yeah, I would say that you have, level 10.
Whoa.
Yeah, level 10?
Swagalicious.
8, 9.
No, you said
Wait, are we level 8? I
Cannon.
could have sworn you were 9. It's hard to keep track. Yeah, okay, now you guys are level. That's right. This group's behind. So you guys are level 9.
We still have.
Wow, that would have been quite a power up.
Yeah, no shit.
How do I level up again? Is there like a...
On D&D Beyond, it should have.
I go to edit character,
Right.
Okay. I didn't know if there was like an even shorter
Manage
shortcut.
levels.
Where is manage levels?
It's when you hit edit character.
Mm-hmm.
Pull your middle thing over to the right. This. Yeah.
Okay. Calm down. Let me go back to my home sheet.
Yeah. That one.
That's what I did.
Edit manage levels.
Oh, I just overlooked it.
Doggy. Okay, level 9.
I don't think I get literally anything except maybe some more spell slots, which helps.
I mean, yeah. You should get access to some spells, I think.
Magical ambush.
I don't know what I will get.
Right.
I've got magical ambush. Great. Okay, so I've got that. So now
And we are live.
All right.
live.
All right, so
Right, it's still
where's
called
my
March
level
into the
again?
Underways. Oh, you haven't? Okay.
Ooh, I did get some fun new spells.
Really? You'd think it'd be the easy. You think it'd be one of the easiest things.
Where's the book? The manual.
Weird.
Oh, they should be far back in there, like in the way back. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's fine. Everything's on YouTube
Oh,
correctly anyway. At least I think that's right.
It would be fun to name all of our episodes after we play.
Yeah.
Well, Brett has been storing them since I think in this campaign, I forget when we started recording on this one. It was pretty early on. I know for the Badlands it was kind of awkward because it was in person, then it switched to Roll20. So not as much of that's recorded.
How's their campaign going?
They are in the Underways.
Oh, nice.
And they are basically trying. They went ahead of basically they determined that for the dwarvish forces that they are scouting ahead of, going through the Underways is going to take less time than going around the mountains and through the forest. But it could be more dangerous, obviously. It's not like you guys went through all of the Underways.
Right.
That's
We
right.
barely. We barely did that.
Barely scratched the surface.
But Eladrin ended up finding a secret tunnel through this stone cutting, and
Oh.
inside of that tunnel, they found all sorts of monsters, and a new monster that I've yet to show you guys. That well, it had a lot of potential to end them, but it didn't, through luck mostly.
Well, as is Dungeons and Dragons.
Right. That's true. Elrin and Dorian had a lot of synergy.
Nice.
They managed to take the boss or monster I had and just have it permanently stunned. At certain
Wow.
point.
That must be annoying.
That was like a little shake, and bake.
Like
Rattle them up.
pretty brutal. And even like, because it's like an ooze type of monster, so it oozed its way into the rock walls, and they still managed to hit it. It's just a fun monster I'm going to use against you guys later on in the campaign.
Right, I was just about to say that's probably coming for us soon.
Yep.
I'm just confirming on my sneak attack here that it now I have 5 d6s rolling on my sneak attack. I do.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Man, it's crazy.
Brad would have really liked his rogue had he kept playing.
Do what?
Yeah.
Brad there would have really loved his character had he kept playing.
I think he would have liked the rogue style a lot. Yeah.
Just being sneaky and
Sneaky man.
Yeah.
here's my trait that I earned.
Tell us.
The 9th level, you can roll 1 additional weapon die damage, determining extra damage for a critical hit with a melee attack. So when I do a critical hit with a melee, I get to roll twice.
Thanks.
Or I guess 2. I get to roll 2 dice damage instead of 1, and that increases again to 2 additional dice at 13th level and 3 additional dice at 17th level.
Wow.
Being 4 dice total.
Okay.
But I think there's one trait that changes your critical to 19, or maybe it's something that comes out at a different time. But or 18 or 19. I think that might be a path that you take. I don't remember. But
Yeah.
Cool.
I know it's that way with crossbows. But that should be fun.
I got 2 new spells.
See if I get it.
I got 2 new spells, but I'm not gonna tell you guys what they are. I wouldn't want to ruin the dramatic flair.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Promising.
I just looked it up online.
Shut up, Zach. Don't take my phone away. I've had a bad day.
Druid.
Ooh, barista, huh? Nice.
That's my new spell, yeah. I'm serving up some extra hot coffee.
Oh, dang.
You can drink coffee out of the spout.
Cella throws the burning scalding water on them.
Yes, yeah.
1d12 fire damage. Okay.
All right.
Exciting shit. So let's freaking do this thing.
Let's recap what the hell happened last time.
Yeah, Gareth, why don't you tell us what happened?
No, I recapped last time. I'd like to hear what
Oh,
happened.
no,
from
really. I
someone
think you
else.
should tell us what happened.
Oh, no, I'd like to hear your side of this. I insist.
Yeah.
Brett, you want to recap?
Let Brett recap. I'm interested to hear what Brett heard that happened.
I heard.
convince that one guy to help us out.
But yeah, we spent like 30 minutes watching Zach peel giant body parts off.
Well, you also had some funny interactions with Eldrin, admittedly, so there was that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Bonding moments.
Never speak of this.
That's excellent.
Somehow, Cella was convinced to wear a dress.
Coerced. Coerced. Convince implies there was some kind of logical argument and exchange of
There
ideas.
wasn't really, no.
Yeah.
You were coerced into a dress.
Yeah. Which is okay. She's okay with it. She's aware that this is not her thing. That it has a lot.
I was gonna say it has a lot of pockets.
A lot of pockets.
So.
Indeed.
That's right. Nice. Yeah, that's right. That's right. It was right before. She was actually in her little book. No, and she did a decent job, I think. It wasn't actually awful that time. Yep.
Yeah.
So it was actually a good, Ephelien's developing her artistic skills, so. Yep. Shot him with a crossbow.
While he was on the dance floor in front of hundreds of people.
So, okay.
I mean,
Oh, I would add one thing that we learned. We learned that the same, who we presume is going to be Malthor, or like one of his servants, the guy, the dark purple masked man, was also in the water temple, and he used the rainbow Leviathan to try and to charm and confuse and enchant all of the Druids.
Right. It wasn't 100% effective, clearly. Some of them ended up resisting.
Mm-hmm.
Many of them were consumed. Ah, yes, there was also the Merid.
Yeah, who was ripping apart all of the corrupted Druids, and we rescued a few of the normal non-corrupted Druids.
Yeah, the most important thing was Gerbo convinced him with, yeah,
Yeah.
rolling a natural 20.
it's a great crit.
Gerbo had quite the night.
Last episode was all Gerbo.
Perfect time to crit, honestly.
Yes, it was a perfect time. So,
That was great.
probably one of the
I mean,
funny
that was
things
amazing.
about that is that as you guys were leaving, the Merid just went invisible and just was gone. He just totally left.
Went to his other plane of existence.
Good riddance.
I mean, he just went and cast invisibility and was gone.
I can still hear an echo of his final like.
Yes, can't be wrong.
Yeah.
No, those are just noises that people make. A lot of old patients who make those noises. It's just they make them.
That's what they do.
That's what you do.
I hope I can make it to the buffet in time. Senior special. I mean, admittedly, he wasn't that bad to you. He fucking slaughtered a lot of people. They did deserve it in that case. Yeah, you did. Yes. The other piece of it that you found out, the masked man, the purple man, the outsider, he seemed to be using devices to potentially watch within the temple after he'd gone.
Oh yeah, Aldrin found the bug on the wall.
Right.
So he knows that we're on to him. Darn it. Okay.
Did we do that?
Yeah.
Well, Eldrin.
Aldrin found the bug and destroyed it.
But did we plant the bug?
No, like the masked man, who we're calling now the masked man.
Okay. I mean, honestly, it sounds far more. I don't know. It Sounds better if you call him the outsider, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, the outsider. Yeah, that's what Valkyra called him.
It sounds more intimidating that way. The purple masked man.
The man Jim
Well,
carries.
you know, James Bond has the man with the golden gun. Then you have the man with the purple. There you go.
So, okay. I'm gonna try and set. Well, continue the scene. All right. So, people were gathering, kind of around, kind of clearing way and playing music for the, getting groovy, right? Starting to dance and stuff.
Yeah, Cella was dancing with Lorson.
Yes, in the most awkward way imaginable.
Yes.
Of course. So from the back room, which had like a curtain thing, I'm assuming Gerbo just took his shot from inside that room through an opening right at Lorson. Which is a hell of a shot if you think about it, because there was a lot of chances for someone to like
Step
get in the
front.
way and just die.
Yeah.
But you did roll to hit by a lot.
Yeah,
So
it definitely happened.
that happened. I'm assuming you didn't just do this exactly in front of everyone per se, but rather
It was
And I did it. So basically, I took in my drunken state.
oh my god, you were drunk.
I took a big drink of alcohol, sunshine stuff,
No.
and like basically to paint the picture for everyone,
Okay.
was imagining doing it, and then did it, and was like, I was basically like imagining like what it would be like to kill Orson, because I was the only person with a crossbow, and you know, it's kind of like one of those things, like just like drunkenly, just like imagining like, what if I did this right now, and then I just like, it just happened basically, and
So,
I'm basically so like drunk that I'm not realizing that like that's what actually like it has actually transpired. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, so here's the thing though. There's one problem with that.
mhm.
You planned several sessions in advance
That's right.
using the crossbow with Jedri.
Yes,
That's
yes.
right.
No, this is all true.
This is first degree.
This is all true. This is all
I'm
true.
saying, like, for the record, this wasn't some like drunken, like, I
Whim.
wouldn't quite call it an impulse so much as it was clearly planned. Like, well, if I have a weapon, I'm gonna take my shot. Literally.
Yeah. Not throwing away my shot. You were like, maybe you were like on the fence about whether you'd actually go through with it, but you set it up for show.
I did. I mean, all of that is true. I think it's one of those things where it's like, I set it up, but I didn't know like in like my heart that I was gonna go through with it.
Okay,
If that kind of makes sense.
Can I say we should dialogue some of this kind of stuff out
Yes.
as characters, if Gerbo manages to survive the next 10 minutes of gameplay.
Yes. So
if not, you can tell us everything.
Yeah.
Roll a new character.
yeah, it's just it could happen.
Gerbo the Dawn.
Honestly, though, that's a hell of a way to go. Like,
Admittedly.
Yep.
All
certainly
right.
one way to do it.
So Lorson has just been shot. The crossbow bolt went right into his chest. It takes him a second to even realize what had happened, and looks down, and by that point, he's already fallen to the floor. Cella, you're the first to notice. I I imagine you are staring in shock
Yeah,
more than anything.
and in fact, last session I actually tried to heal.
Okay.
Cella tries to heal him. That was that 1327 medicine roll up there.
Yeah. The problem is that Gerbo did so much damage last time.
Yeah. But that's what
So-
Cella does. Shock, desperately trying to heal him now in a blood-covered ball gown on the ground.
Yep. It was formerly covered in barbecue sauce, not to take away from the seriousness of the moment. But anyway, so
Sweet baby rays.
so it doesn't take long, mere seconds, for people to start noticing you and Lorson, for people to start screaming and start running. By this point, Jedri is also caught on to what's going on, and he's ordering his guards to move in.
Where's
And what?
Where's Jedri?
Jedri was kind of he was kind of in the front, standing at one of the tables,
Mm-hmm.
kind of making his announcements and pronouncements and such. He was at that point not like he was kind of far from where you guys were. Like I'm envisioning you guys more in the back
Right.
of the room. And now that I think about it, I wish I had actually drawn out a for real map of the room, but well, too late now. It's true, I couldn't have known that. But I
You can use your mind's eye.
right.
Yep.
So Aldrin guards have come in at this point, and they rush to Lorson and immediately begin to you, Cella. And one of them asks in a desperate tone, almost yelling at you, "What happened?"
I don't know. We were just dancing and somebody shot him. I don't know. I don't know.
He turns to the other guard and says, "Quick, go get help! Quick, help me move him, please!"
Cella looks around for Braundir and Gerbo and Ephelien.
What are Braundir, Gerbo, and Ephelien doing?
So we did.
Is that what happened?
And pulled the curtain.
Yeah. Well, what I did was, what I imagined happened was, I would have heard the shot,
Yeah.
and then the screams, and I'm sure that Braundir stands up and looks behind him, and then looks at his face and realizes what happened.
Right.
And Braundir would have closed the curtain, and this is where I took the crossbow out of his hand, and Gerbo says, well, Gerbo just let me have it. And that's whenever I gave it to Ephelien, who was painting, and I said, "Quick, can you get rid of this?"
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And Ephelien was like, "Sure."
Yeah, it has only been a few seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, so at this point, the guards are probably just now getting to, Lorson.
Yes.
And I just am looking at her and saying I can't believe I actually did it.
We have to get rid of this thing now. They're going to find out it was us.
Good or bad.
Morality.
sure. Let's go with that trope. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Like people's like images aren't clearly like they're not nearly as defined. They're almost like blobs as you're moving along. Okay. Roll perception. Roll perception. Fuck!
Yeah!
Oh, go girl.
You perceive lots of things.
You get the.
Okay.
Showing up.
So, as he said, you perceive lots of things. You perceive, you see, most people don't have a lot of like bags in this place. Like I would imagine a lot of people when they come into an establishment like this, they probably don't want to have anything loose hanging on them, right? Right. But you do see what looks to be a traveler. And the reason you think of them as a traveler is because they still have their cloak on. They're at the bar. It looks as if they're just drinking, and they are silent. You kind of catch them slowly turning as their eyes are widening, realizing what the situation is. And they do have what appears to be an adventurer's bag. Yeah, I can't stop that. Yeah, you do that.
Girl,
Oh,
yes.
boy.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's good imagery, though.
Oh.
Okay. So, all of that, like, so we'll turn back to Cella now. So, Cella, you help this guard move Lorson's body out. You can see that Jedri and his guards are trying to, like, control some of the mass panic and chaos. And by this point, actually, you see down the street. And at this point, it's basically getting to be, like, it's almost completely nighttime now. The sun's almost down entirely. You see Eladrin coming down the road. And he's, at this point, running as he's seeing all these people flooding out of the building.
Okay. Cella runs to meet him.
And he says, what's going on?
Lawson's dead. We don't know who did it. We were dancing, and someone just shot him right in front of me. God, I don't know why anyone would do this.
We have to secure his body. Quickly.
Yeah, yes.
And the guard will say, Sir Eldrin, one of the other guards has been sent to go get the captain and others. Good. I want as many of them here as possible.
Cella casts gentle repose on Lorson's corpse.
Eldrin will notice you doing that and say, yes, of course. Thank you. All right. With his body secured, I'm going to need to take charge of the situation. We need to go in there and invest, and we need to see if there's anything to do with those cultists from before. I will need to gather other mages to do a more thorough search, but for now, we need to get all likely suspects. And he charges into the room, or into the building.
Cella tells Eldrin, someone We'll need to tell Volma right away.
You're right. You, God. He's pointing to the guy about the move. Be sure word gets to Volma. Go! The guy kind of stands there for a second. Run! And he finally breaks out of his stupor and runs down the street.
Where is that damn gnome? I haven't seen him all night.
Eladrin is in battle mode at this point. He's going into the big burrow.
Cella follows him back in and heads back towards the booths where she last saw Gerbo.
Yeah, there's just it is pure madness. Like some of Jedri's own guards are trying to keep people more organized as they try and get out, but some of the some of the doors and such are kind of blocked off by people just kind of choked it in. And yeah, okay. Her camera froze.
Oh.
Weird timing, but okay.
Yeah.
That's not him. I don't know.
Yeah, what are you guys doing now?
Yeah, so basically,
Alright.
after Ephelien respawns and is back in the corner hurling, I'm just looking at Braundir and I'm just saying like over and over like, I can't believe he's dead. I can't believe.
Okay, enough. Braundir jumps over the table and pushes the table out, like, over on its side, as if it was making a defense, towards the curtain. Holds Gerbo down and said, "This is not something we can discuss right now." And I know that, like, he's in shock, but it's like there's nothing else that I can do. And what I'm going to stand here as if I'm protecting you, but we have a lot to discuss after this. And Braundir's going to like set up a defensive pose to say like to make an appearance that they shot his brother, they're coming after Gerbo next.
Yeah.
And make sure Ephelien's back there too.
Yes. And did Cella make her way back? See the
Yeah, I mean, has she had time to fight her way through the sea of people and get back to the curtain?
I would say as you're slowed down, and in the time that you finally managed to make it back there, a horde of guards have now shown up and have started to enter the building, and one of them has started shouting commands for people to kind of disperse and to leave the vicinity now.
Okay. Yeah, she like tries to hustle even faster back to the corner, to the booth.
Okay. Also, I should say that you did spot what looked to be Eldrin was cast hold person on Jedri.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So Jedri is now currently just frozen in place. And Jedri's guards are now trained on, like, looking at Eldrin as a threat. So, anyway.
And so what now Braundir is going to look to Ephelion and say, "What did you do with it?" Like, did you?
Printed.
Damn.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's perfectly
like,
reasonable.
Fist down in rage. He said, "They can't handle their alcohol." Like, just like everything has gone so wrong. It's just like I just want to figure out what's
Absolutely
going on, and I've
And
got
I
a
burst
young
it.
gnome here. It's just like,
Okay, Cella, you have made it back, and you are impeded by the table that Braundir has kicked up to kind of block the way.
What the? Where have you goons been hiding? Do you have any idea what's going on out here?
I can't
hiding.
believe he's dead.
No, we've been sitting back here in a defensive stance. I don't know what's going on out there. We're keeping Gerbo safe.
Are they coming for me?
Someone killed Lawson. Yes, we need to get you out now,
Are they-
Gerbo.
Gerbo, is there a back door to this place?
What about my crossbow?
Gerbo, is there a back door to this place?
Okay. Yes.
Hold on.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Nothing.
That way.
Well, wait. If it's an insight, is there any? I'm trying to think of like.
I was gonna
If it's
see.
like between players. I don't. Well, I'm not that normal. Roll deception.
Okay. I can do that.
Well, is it? Wait. Is it
He was
Gerbo or
checking
Braundir?
in on when Gerbo said, "Where's my crossbow?" That catches her attention because he was murdered with a crossbow bolt.
Well, Cella, you gather that Gerbo is hiding something or lying.
She
Shit, I did not want that to happen. Oh,
she flashes her
not
teeth.
now.
What about your crossbow?
I just didn't.
Let's leave it.
I just didn't want to leave it. It's expensive.
Cella realizes what has happened.
The crossbow.
This doesn't take.
Would you have realized that what has happened?
He just said, "My crossbow." Lawson was shot with a crossbow. Gerbo's being shady, and she knows it.
But you wouldn't know that I.
Could have
From
buried
that, you would not have gathered that I did it.
No, someone could have stolen it.
Suspicion eye, yeah.
Someone
Well,
could have stolen it.
Yeah.
I guess that's true. Well, it's likely Chella's gonna find out one way or another anyway. So.
Anyway, we can just play it like I'm suspicious, but
Sure.
okay.
Well, you can be
Yeah.
suspicious of Gerbo anyway, but regardless.
Who is
Right.
it?
Right. You can. It looks as if he's kind of almost in like a weird standoff with some of like Jedri's guards, and then there are other guards that he's directing to kind of search the place.
Listen, I'm sure that this comes to all of you as a surprise, but I do know a little bit about politicking, and you need to present yourself right now to Eladrin so that he doesn't perceive you as a threat, and you need to offer to help him right now. Let's go.
And he's gonna look over, and he's gonna. At this point, Jedri is paralyzed. He can't move. He can't do anything. So he's gonna pick up Jedri and carry him with him, like just almost like a piece of luggage, just over his shoulder. Well, not over his shoulder, but like underarm. Anyway, and he's. There you are. I was wondering where you were. That was my exact. Indeed.
And Gerbo.
That's true. Yes, of course. That was my next move. Once we had managed to secure and get everyone out, we intended on searching this place high and low, and that included magical effects. Now, I would advise you to return to the castle.
Braundir is piping hot and mad.
Yeah.
So
So
on with it then! And then we're gonna try to bust out of this place.
Okay, I'm gonna leave.
You've put me. I'm a lawful good, Gerbo.
yeah, you put him in a
This is
very
not
hard.
good for me.
It's not good.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is really not good for me.
It's really not.
Sheesh.
Mhm.
Chella's very loves to know what's going on.
So I'm going to say I'm still kind of my drunkenness is I'm trying to make it wear off, but I'm
Roll
just
Constitution saving
okay.
throw.
No, that's
Do
great.
it.
I'm perfect. I can totally do that. A 10.
You're coming out of it, sure.
Okay.
You're starting to sober up a little.
I'm gonna point people, this group, to back kind of where I know is like a back road to the like back to the castle. That's kind of like I would always take at night when I was sneaking out.
Sure.
So that's
Yeah.
not between.
Right. So you managed to take one of. So actually, what you do, you go to the second floor, and you go to the 13th room. You open up the 13th room, and there's no one there. It's unoccupied, vacant. And you know and find a door under the rug. And you proceed down, and it leads you out of in a more discreet
Nice.
location, out of the Pink Pearl.
Mm-hmm.
This is somewhere you've been before, a way you've taken.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're out on the street without much fuss.
Yep. Well, I must be going. I think we should go to my room. I feel like that's the safe place from whatever happened in there.
You can still hear people shouting and screaming in the distance.
It's well,
That's
it's
exactly right.
Oh, okay. Well, how about? Yes, I agree.
Where
I'm
is
just trying to play the drunkenness.
where is there to go? Where do we go? Is there somewhere else on the grounds, maybe in the library, or
Ooh. Well,
Can you make a spot for us?
Do it.
I don't know if she has that kind of power to do that, or I guess Chella's the druid. But
can we
You
make
got
a
a ring?
just like a hideout or a sanctuary or some type of provisions out on the edges of the castle
That
or
would be like
something where we're
survival,
not
right?
necessarily. Yeah.
You could probably manage it. Maybe. Well,
I look at everyone and I say, well, I know.
Hey,
jeez, Ephelien,
Would
you're on
it
fire.
be suspicious? Why are we going away? Why can't we go to the castle?
Well, for one, they're going to be looking for you and questioning you, and we need you to be safe. Right?
But if Gerbo has nothing to hide,
And we need
then
you to be sober for later.
why doesn't he cooperate?
There's time
what-
enough to explain.
What do I have to
situation.
hide? I don't have anything.
I'm more concerned, and I'm saying this out loud because Cella doesn't fully know. I'm more concerned of your safety, Gerbo. If they're coming for Lorson, they're coming for you. Like,
Yes. Let's. Yes. Let's go. Let's.
Ephelien. Okay, so Ephelien and Cella. Ephelien, you guys are kind of looking for like a place to lay low in the woods close by the castle. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Ephelien, as you're a ranger. You obviously take stock of the geography of the place. It's kind of second nature to you at this point. you're kind of like going around the area and stuff, you do notice that there are thicker, some like hills where you could camp on the other side of it. Basically facing away from the castle, you could basically just use that as cover. There's a lot of like shrubbery and trees nearby as well, so you can also further entrench yourself. And yeah, it's only like maybe a mile away from the castle, not far. Is that where you want to go? Okay.
And by the time we get to that place, I'll roll another Constitution saving throw to see.
Do that.
Okay.
Do.
Feeling better.
You're way better. Like
Feeling better.
It's a new man.
you're starting to be more coherent now. And
Yes.
more aware of what exactly you've just done.
And so we get to said location, and I just say to the group, I say, well, Emmaus and Nyana they're going to be very sad to hear the news. And I think it's best that we're keeping me safe.
Yeah, I'm sure they've got a lot to figure out up there at the castle. I really wish I knew what was going on.
Well,
The one night that I get spruced up and go out dancing, well, I guess you can't be good at everything.
I imagine at this point, just like going through the woods, the dress would just get more, like, just rapidly just torn to shreds.
Yep.
and then I look at everyone and say, like, well, what's the plan here? Are we going to?
I would say, I just want to, just real quickly, I just want to say that probably it has been maybe 30 minutes, possibly 45 minutes. Like, all told, all this that has happened, you guys getting here, getting out of the Pearl. At that point, you get Ephelien. You get a sending message from Eladrin. He says, I hope you and your party are well, especially Lord Gerbo. We have begun investigations, and we have found traces of the occult magic. We'll be leading up on that. We've also confiscated all of Edry's log books and taken him into custody. Also, Lord Volmer has instituted a lockdown of the city.
So Volma's in charge.
And Edry was the traveler, or who was that?
Jedry was the owner of the Pink Pearl.
Jedry. I thought you said Edry.
Yeah, I see Jedry. Can you say anything in response?
Ask him if it's safe to come back to the castle. I'd like to be there. It's much more guarded than out here.
I didn't. I'll be honest with you. I didn't count it when Eldrin sent his message.
It was one big hyphenated word.
Yeah, right. There you go. That's how you cheated.
Underscores.
So, yeah, I guess the question is, what do you guys do now?
So,
Well,
and go where?
I agree. I know this is distressing, and Master Gerbo, if you need to stay behind and tend to your family affairs, then so be it, but my message is clear.
I'm gonna look at Cella and I'm gonna say, well, I knew this day would come eventually. I figured my brothers would be old of age and they would die that way, but if it must be like this, then so be it. And my best to Volmer. I cannot imagine how it is to lead, knowing that your life may be at risk. But I agree. We should move on. And honestly, the furthest we can be from this city is probably the best way. For my safety.
Will we even be... If you flee, though, what will they think?
That I'm a coward?
What is Braundir doing?
Yeah.
Braundir has been has had his back to the party, and while listening to Gerbo say that, he pulls his axe out and slams it into the ground. And what I rolled here was for thunder, and rolls a 6 out of 8. And like I imagine, which just lands right in front of Gerbo, and just says, like, furiously, "How could you do this to us?"
Damn.
Roll
intimidate, by the way.
Yeah, freak yeah.
Oh,
damn.
yeah.
That's fair. No, yeah.
I am thoroughly intimidated and
Yes.
I would say I've knocked back from the thunder and intimidated, and I'm just gonna put my hands up and say, whoa, 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 whoa! I understand that we're all
None of this bullshit. Why did you do this to our party? What are we supposed to do now? Putting yourself in front of everybody. You're supposed to be our friend.
I've been alive for a long time, and Lorson was no friend to anyone. I can assure you of that.
You are part of our crew. We are one unit. If something happens to you, it happens to us.
Yes, and I'm so glad that you rushed me out, because if I were to die, then I would not want anything to happen to you. That is true.
Being selfish like this, to think that we were becoming friends? Gerbo, this is pathetic.
Maybe I acted on impulse, and maybe I just... Well, Cella, I guess the cat's out of the bag here. I killed
Gerbo,
him.
my name is now on the line because of your action. I preserved who I cared about most in the time of need, and now I am severely regretting that. I should have thrown you out on that floor immediately after.
Yes, and when I looked into Emmaus's mind, I knew that Lorson was... He was everything that I ever thought he was. I knew that he was doing something to manipulate Emmaus, and that, to me, that was the final straw.
Okay.
That
I just want to interject here because I'm pretty sure that's a deception roll.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
Oh,
Bad.
I would say there's still alcohol in your system, and you're not
Oh,
quite
that second one was definitely not intentional.
right. No, I would say that
Constitution
you're
is down.
okay. So Ephelien rolled insight. Ephelien, yeah, you know that he's lying.
Gerbo, how could you do this? Where I come from, family killings are not all that uncommon, but you have ostracized us from any city, any municipality, any respectful place now if they find out that you've done this. How will we ever get to these other temples without the cooperation of the nearby cities? You have destroyed any chance of political assistance that we had.
This is all contingent on them finding out.
Gerbo, you don't.
I think
understand.
there's-
You've lived.
I think you're not telling
for
us
yourself
everything.
so long.
What did you see in Emmaus's mind? What is the reason he did this?
And then Drew, you will need to refresh me on exactly what I saw in Emmaus's mind, because that was unfortunately not something I took a detailed note on because I was playing it in the minute.
Sure.
So
right.
could you assist on that?
Let me fill in the blank. So, what you saw, so at first with Emmaus's mind, what you saw was what everyone else sees when they try to detect thoughts, which is just a kaleidoscopic effect of colors, all just kind of dazzling and senseless. But as you dove deeper into his mind, you got to actually interact with him, and when you did, he was talking more about how he had to essentially be as he is, and that he needed, like, he had to essentially carry on a charade almost of being incapacitated. Otherwise, there are forces in this world that would see him dead if they knew that if they knew he had his faculties about him still.
Mhm.
And that there are likely forces in Shadowheart that would see it done. Also, that he wasn't sure of who he could trust, even within his own city.
And
Also,
so I
you got to see certain just snippets of his experience in Shadowheart. Something happened to him there, but you don't know the full story. Something that, well, made him look like what he does now, which is, horribly aged, like just badly damaged.
So I recount that to the group, but then at the end say, so, well, I just assumed that with the context that I was thinking was that he couldn't trust his own family. And, well, I assumed that it was Lorsum, just because that's who I couldn't trust. I wouldn't trust him. So,
I wish you would have told us that earlier. And I'm going to get out, if no one else says anything, I'm going to get out a notebook and ask Garbo to describe every single detail that he saw in detail about the Shadow Heart.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Garbo would remember it all in detail, but
Right.
try to get every detail I can get out of him.
I mean, I'll just go ahead and recount the little bit that was. It seemed as though Emmaus was, like, you saw it all from Emmaus's perspective, right? So first person kind of view. You saw, well, first you had this feeling like you were floating through the air, like something was levitating you through the air. He was naked, and it looked like they were about to do something to him. And you heard and even saw snippets of unimaginable monstrosities and creatures that were kind of cackling and whispering to each other in the shadows as you're being levitated towards the center of a room, and looking up, you just saw this impossibly long. It's like this weird mind trip kind of thing, where it's like this long, like impossibly long tower up, and he was gonna, like, something was gonna happen to him there. But that's all you saw.
Okay, I'll just take notes of that in detail.
You know, Gerbo, thank you.
Your mic is a little.
Let me get down here.
Yeah.
Gerbo, just thank you so much for this delay. We will now deal with this, all of us together, because this week has proven that we will not be able to take down any of the temples without significant assistance from the local authorities. And I certainly can't do it on my own, even with Ephelien's help. We're all in this together now, and thanks to your move, until we resolve this mess and absolve you, we will not have a flying chance of getting rid of any of these other portals. So that's how it's going to be.
I've done my part. No longer will I stand to protect you throughout this thing. Don't expect me to stand and make an oath and lie, because I will not.
Yes, well, it seems that if the day comes that we have to account for what I did, then I can only assume that I can't ask you to make that decision. But I think we would all like to avoid such a day. I don't know how they'll find out if it was me, but maybe we should discuss how to prevent that.
Someone killed Lawson with your crossbow. So we need to find that person.
I'm not going
Already.
to blackmail an innocent party for Gerbo's misdoing.
I appreciate the absolutism, Braundir, but if we don't get out of this city and onto the next portal as a group, the entire continent may be obliterated. So it's really a pretty simple equation.
Nothing's so simple as someone's life. Not when they don't deserve it.
Death is just another chapter, Braundir. This world must go on.
But a death deserved versus one not. Here, this is the deserved death, pointing at Gerbo. If you want to deserve death, this is it. If you want to sacrifice one life for the world, this is who it is. Not somebody who happens to be in the same room as us.
What, do you expect me to turn myself in now? The minute I turn myself in,
Gerbo. All of my years in service, never have I come across something like this. I left home and kept my friends at a minimum for this very reason, and here I've compromised myself for you. I'm not about to let somebody else die for your mistake. If I have to go to this portal, I'll do it, and I will die fighting.
Well, it sounds like we need to create some kind of scheme in which they're forever looking for the person who did this.
I think right now they have no reason to suspect you, and the more we get involved, the more reason they'll have to suspect you. The only possible reason they could have is Jedry claims that he gave you the crossbow, but that was multiple hours earlier. You don't have the crossbow anymore. I don't think they have much of any reason to suspect you now.
If we aren't at
It's gone.
that celebration of life, they'll have something to.
Yes, if we leave the city now, we may as well paint your hands red and send you back into the keep.
Do you all really think I have the motive to do such a crime?
Yes.
You think everyone else believes it?
Yes.
Tell us why you are suspicious of Lorson. You said Emmaus was suspicious of his own city. Why were you suspicious of Lorson?
Well, how do you say concisely centuries of growing up alongside someone and them always receiving the favor over you, and you seeing their true intent, them getting away with petty crimes here and there, and you also getting away with petty crimes here and there. But really, he deserves. I mean, he deserved this. I
You?
that.
Be that
Sounds
as
like
it
you're
may-
looking into a mirror, Gerbo.
Mm.
Well, be that may, I think you may be onto something, and well, it did happen, and I don't know that. Well, are there ways to fix this? I don't think so.
There are no ways to fix this.
Well,
Gerbo.
is he? Can you heal him if he doesn't die? Was he?
There is
actually
magic that
dead?
could bring him back to life.
I tried to heal him.
Was he actually dead?
Was he actually dead, Drew? I feel like she would be able to tell that. Death's kind of her whole MO. So
Right. You would think that, like, the crossbow bolt, like, went right into the heart.
Mm-hmm.
So he was pretty much dead before he actually hit the floor.
Yeah. I tried to heal him. There's no coming back from something like that.
Well,
But like
I'll
Ephelien
be,
said, there are magics that can raise the dead.
I'll be honest, everyone. This is a moment that I have looked forward to for most of my life, and it is not going how I thought it was going to go.
Are you suggesting that you might have made a mistake?
Well, if you're saying that I should have put on my hat of disguise before I fired the bolt, well, obviously that could have been something, but I didn't do it, and here we are. Like, maybe, but I would argue that the world is better that he's not in it anymore.
It might sound heartless, but I really couldn't care less which of those Elven brothers is in charge. The one that's in charge now is probably better at defending it.
Thank you.
what's
Thank
coming.
you.
None of us have.
I don't think
My
I don't think you made a good decision. I wish you would have consulted us, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. I'm more concerned about protecting Emmaus from assassins. That's what I'm worried about now. I'm not worried about that murder.
And I'm only worried about our ability to keep closing these portals, which is what we set out to do in the first place. She glances at Braundir, who she knows cares about a lot more than that.
Oh, yeah. Right. And he's a dwarf.
So what? We'll stay and celebrate his life, and then we'll leave and say you're welcome for closing your portal and healing your waters. And I hope to see you. I hope to see you again. And stay safe, my friends.
There is magic that can force you to tell the truth. If you were exposed to that, you would be executed.
Well, that isn't good, is it? That's there is. I forgot of such magic.
I have an idea.
I'm not used to being on this end of things.
Gerbo, I have an idea. Cella stands up and walks close to Gerbo and stands right in front of him and towers over him and says,
She's tall.
Yeah, she's like 5'10".
Gerbo is 3 feet tall.
Yes. What if, Gerbo, what if you died too?
Ooh. Well, that wasn't originally in the plan, but is it a real death?
Don't tempt me. Gerbo, you could start over, get out of this whole mess, could even die a hero for all I care. Gerbo the Great. Imagine. Start a new life away from this place. Free us up to keep doing the work we need to do.
What would be into this? How would you pull off such a thing?
The way I see it, there are 3 options. The first option is you turn yourself in. We allow them to go through the legal proceedings and rescue you from execution somehow, feigning your death.
I don't want that.
The second option is we find a way to frame the same person we framed for Lawson's murder for your fake murder. Or, out of guilt, you write a note of admission and we fake a suicide.
I like the third option, actually. It's interesting. It fits.
My God.
Is there a way to make him look dead beyond any doubt?
With that,
Maybe we should just tell someone important, Eldrin or Volmer or someone, to meet us somewhere secret and private, and then we tell them that Gerbo has been killed and we show them the body by cultists, and we are gonna try to go into hiding and then leave.
I feel like there's something here. I feel like there's
exactly. Okay, there he is. Oh,
He's
yeah,
muted.
I've just been moving around, so I'm turning off my camera so it isn't distracting.
yes.
Oh.
But I'm also still thinking we can just leave and it's fine.
I feel like if we all everyone seems to feel very strongly about how this situation happened. And honestly, I understand it wasn't probably the best. It could have been better. Maybe I could have communicated with the group.
do you really want to go down this road?
I'm
Then get to the point.
okay, you're right.
Okay.
Let's do the fake my death thing. And I have to be harmed?
Have to is a funny word. I think it might do Braundir some good.
What does Braundir say in all of this? What's he doing?
Braundir just says, I will have no part in this. I will pay my respects and I will move forward. I've lost all respect for you, Gerbo, what little I had. But there was some. I will have no part in defending you from here on out.
If we were to present my body as dead to someone, would you feel comfortable to confirm how dead I am?
I need you to understand something, Gerbo. The only we is you are helping myself and my 2 friends close gates to save this realm. That is the only we there is. You may have a we with Cella and a we with Ephelien. There is no we with me. I have no part with you other than doing business.
It seems like this may be the best way to do business then, is to have Cella work her magic and maybe we present my body dead to someone. What kind of story would we weave for this?
That I haven't worked out yet.
I'll help you if that's what you want to do, but I think it would be better to just tell them that assassins could be coming from the Shadowheart place to kill Emmaus, and that they should protect him at all costs. And that's what I think is important. I don't see any reason why they would suspect you.
Well, I agree. If assassins do come for Emmaus, that's the biggest threat.
It might just so happen to divert attention away from your interesting judgment call, but
Interesting judgment call.
it's also important.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yep.
I think they have a very clear group to blame this on,
Yep.
and it's what I assumed happened in the moment. And I think if Gerbo is back in their castle anytime soon, there's a chance that they'll discover it was him.
Yep. But we can't let them talk to you. I think this is the best way. You'll have to trust me, though.
We have a motive to run away. We have other things to do, and we're protecting Gerbo from assassins.
You think we can just flee? That they won't eventually want to talk to him?
They might want to, but I don't know if they would be suspicious enough of him to care that much because the reason we would be running away would be to protect him, so.
Yeah.
But if you want to fake your death, I'll help with that. I think it's risky, though.
I wouldn't even be surprised this wasn't even the first fake death Ephelien's orchestrated, but
Yeah. She does not bat an eye at deceiving local authorities in order and for the greater good.
sure, yeah.
Doesn't bother her at all.
Well,
Or even murdering local authorities for the greater good.
Yeah, also true.
I look at Cella and I look at Ephelien and I look at Braundir and I say, well, everyone, it seems like this is, I think it's time that I think if I write and say that I think we should flee. I think that is, while going out a hero and living in infamy, boy, does that sound, it could be in House Aldrin's history books.
For good or bad.
But if you're still alive, you could be in their history books in more than one way.
Or
You could come back one day.
Or you could die, take full credit for his murder and your death, be forever known as the one who killed Lawson, and still live to enjoy it.
Maybe another day.
This whole talk round circle,
Right.
is really, is just stirring Braundir again. He knows that he'll lash out. So I'm going to mute all of you and walk away.
Okay, so you're not going to hear what happens next.
So Braundir
Yeah.
is actually walking away from the camp, just kind of
Yes.
out of earshot. He doesn't want to hear it anymore.
Yeah, no, I've had enough of it. So just, yeah. So now you're all muted. So I'll keep an eye on this.
Okay.
We'll just top a message if we want you to come back.
Here we
Yeah.
go. Let me see. I can't mute Cella. Why can't I? Oh, because she doesn't have a microphone. Okay.
That's right. You mute one of them.
Bye bye.
Cool. So it seems as though he was angry, but I understand. I understand. Well, let's do this. Let us flee.
We will flee.
We will flee. I feel like
You're missing the point. If we just go, it looks suspicious.
if we flee and they begin to suspect me, we can fake my death. But I think if this is the initial step that we will take. And if it comes down to it, I can fake my own suicide, and I've never considered what that would be like. I've lived such a good life. I would never imagine. But living with regret of my decisions, I might be forced to kill myself, I guess.
It would certainly be a lot of fun.
There is something there, but I feel like it is. I feel like there is more opportunities for them to find us out.
With faking your death.
Yes.
Okay. So we flee.
Well, you did seem to be gung ho about fixing the other portals.
I still think this will draw unwanted attention. But yes, that is my
There-
priority.
There will be consequences regardless of what happens. In this situation, the consequences, Gerbo probably can't return home for a long time. But that doesn't affect me, so I don't care. Gerbo doesn't need to go home. He can find another home.
I did not realize just how amoral this group truly was,
Except for Braundir.
except for Braundir.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know just how close this group could be to just becoming a bunch of murder hobos.
Zach's doing a very good job of playing a lawful good barbarian too.
That's
No,
exactly
yeah.
what I expect. I mean, I don't. No, I mean this is bad. Like, this is exactly how his character should act.
And of course, the other consequence is going to be Braundir being very mad at you for a long time.
Yep.
Yep.
This is a
But
dwarf.
I don't think there's any way to avoid that consequence.
No. If there's one thing dwarves can do, is hold a grudge.
Well, that is true, and he will be probably forever angry. And I understand.
And
But
I actually
Braundir
think
grew up with a different life than me. And he didn't experience what I did.
Cella and Braundir will be much bigger suspects than you.
Yes, I agree.
They're outsiders and they're different. They're not elves.
Especially with all the trouble that druids have caused here lately.
Well, you can take me for my word. If they are suspected, I will come forward. They should not pay. Cella, you and Braundir should not pay for the grudge and of a lifetime of frustration for one impulsive and decision that, well,
So
was made.
let me. I guess I want to kind of clarify a little bit. I think it's a situation, and let me just kind of summarize. Oh well, Zach has to, yeah, Zach has to go put up chickens. So, I would say it's a situation where Gerbo and Lorson is the elder brother, of course. That's why he was the one ruling. I feel like Gerbo and Lorson, and you can correct me on this, Gerbo, since this is your history, but I feel like they were kind of competitive with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, Lorson got ahead, but not because of his competence. In the end, it was simply because of the fact that he was an elf and you were not.
Yes, correct.
And that
Correct.
built up resentment over centuries.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Because I was craftier and like skilled with the politicking and the, I could make a decision. Lorson's downfall was that he was always thinking about his family and the family and all about, how each decision will affect
The
the
family.
family. And
That's true.
And I believe that Lorson was suspicious because I believe that he was thinking that Emmaus's weakness could eventually become House Aldrin's weakness. And if they found out that he was weak, they could become weak.
Yeah.
And so if to me, he was that sentiment of prestige over everything was dangerous.
Sure. Volmer, of course, was kind of just off doing his own thing, having his head in books.
Mm-hmm.
Not anymore.
What?
So does Gerbo tell us that? Do you clarify that motivation?
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to kind of, if only for my sake, kind of. I don't know if Gerbo wants to share that actually.
No, I would, and I think it makes sense to share it after Braundir stormed away because, like, I'm realizing that I haven't. Like, it seems as though there's just everything. Like, I just have to continue, like, just explain myself.
Yeah.
It's just like, yes, I made a rash decision, but it's just like this is.
Listen, Gerbo's instinct is to keep talking. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yes.
Gary.
No, it's perfect. It's just like, that's exactly what it is. It's like I understand that this was rash, but this is this is what I saw, and this is how I saw that it affected us. And I just, yes, it was planned, but I didn't really fully understand that I would follow through with it. And I just know that for you all, you will suffer because of this decision.
Well, if we're going to go, are we sending word and explaining why we're leaving or not? Are we just picking up and going now?
I think perhaps me and Cella maybe should sneak into the castle and meet with Volmer and tell him that we suspect assassins coming for Emmaus and that they should protect him.
How would we possibly know that?
Because Gerbo saw it in Emmaus's mind.
It sounds good to me. And I'm being hidden with Braundir?
Yep.
at this point, it feels like, well, maybe I should hide my crossbow from him.
Maybe that'll be your punishment. An hour alone with Braundir.
That's perfect. All right, let's bring him back in.
Okay.
We good?
I think
Yes.
so.
Well,
Mhm.
are you walking back to the group? Are you walking back up to the group?
Yes.
As you walk up, I say, well, it's not what you wanted to hear, but you and I are stuck together for, well, until they get back.
This is your time to settle your differences.
Oh
Good luck.
no.
Like I
This is
said,
Jet's fault, isn't it?
What?
So this is Jet's fault, is
Of course.
that's amazing. I love it. So, well, while you were gone, we decided that Cella and Effie will be headed to the castle to, well, tell Volmer that Emmaus's life is in danger, which is true, and also that, well, we'll all be fleeing to protect me, which is true. So we're not going to lie.
Nope. It's all true.
I mean, yeah.
So that's what's going to
Braundir
happen.
doesn't speak.
Do what?
Are they
Braundir
meeting
just-
us back here?
They plan to.
I'll call it a night then, and then he lays back and tries to go to sleep.
All right, Effie.
So should we fly there?
We can. Would you like a lift?
Yeah, that seems like it would be quick and easy.
Giant eagle.
Giant eagle. Boom! I want
Now,
to
is there
make
a-
a noise every time I turn into an eagle. Bam!
Yeah.
Just a sound effect like bam, like out of a comic book or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure what noise it makes when your body deconstructs itself and rearranges into a massive.
Probably very painful.
Yeah, it's probably more like a crunch.
So is there a balcony in Volmer's room or Emmaus's room?
So there is a balcony at Volmer's room, but at this point there are guards posted up, not just at the balconies, but at all the entrances and exits around the castle and around the walls.
Well, I guess we can send an animal messenger to Volmer to meet us at that balcony.
Yeah.
Do
I
what?
think I can
Oh yeah, I can.
either
Talk,
one of us.
I think that we put in the canon that I can talk to other animals when I am that kind of animal, right?
I suppose we did. I think so. I mean,
It has been done
No.
before.
it's been done.
I can also speak with animals. So
Yes, Ephelien can actually just speak with animals as well. Either way.
we can both speak with them, and we can both send them as animal messengers. So
We can have a race. Just kidding. So
we'll send an animal to ask Volmer to meet us at that balcony and to be quiet about it, to be careful about it.
we'll send a
Okay.
moth like Gandalf style.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay. And you're going to meet him where exactly?
On that balcony.
Okay.
And I guess we'll tell him to have no prying ears nearby.
Okay.
And then I guess we'll just fly up to the balcony.
All right.
No one will notice the giant eagle flying up.
I mean, they're going to notice it. Like,
It's dark now, but I'm sure a few guards will see it for sure.
There, a few of them are going to see it. Yes.
Okay.
You fly up to the balcony. By that point, the guards have been cleared out.
Okay, good. That helps.
Volmer is there.
Wait, should Gerbo and Braundir hear this?
I don't know. If they want to mute themselves, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, you could mute yourself, I suppose. Like, I think Zach's got himself. Like, you're muted, right? Yep.
I'll go to the other room.
Okay, Gerbo's
All
going
right.
to the room.
All right. Boy, we are just.
I like it.
I think it's fun. I think it's a fun way to
Yeah.
change stuff up, not information share.
Sure.
Okay.
Volmer is not alone.
Mm-hmm.
By his side is Eladrin.
Okay.
Okay.
So you both land. I mean, giant eagle, not very.
Oh yeah, do I have to roll?
Roll for the landing? Yes. You're still not that great at it.
Oh, still really bad.
Okay. So it's like you kind of fly in, you go, and you land your talons like on the balcony, but you like slip up, and you lose your footing.
Yeah.
But you managed to correct yourself.
A very haughty looking eagle. It's like the look that your cats get on their face when they tried to jump on something and missed by just a little bit.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
Okay.
Volmer just says, I wouldn't exactly call this subtle.
Cella just cocks her head at him.
Anyway,
we need to give a message to Volmer very briefly. And
where's Gerbo?
he is outside of the castle, outside of the town. We have, we know. I was about to say we have reason to believe, but we know that the cultists want him dead.
You think it's cultists then?
Do you have reason to believe it's something else?
I mean, I think so. I mean, I think you're right. It's likely that.
Well, there's something else to this. That's what we came to tell you.
Something else?
But I'll turn to Eldrin and say, we love you, but if you don't mind, I need to have a brief word with him in private, if you don't mind.
Love you, but okay, Cella's gonna morph back into human druid form, still in the tattered barbecue bloodstained.
Yeah, boy, this dress gets better and better.
Nice.
Yeah. Are we alone? Are we alone now?
Volmer just turns to Eldrin, nods, and he says, Eldrin just says to you guys, very well. However, know this, my lord, if anything happens to you, I will know. And so he walks away, back inside. As you can understand, It's prudent to have some sort of protection at this point, but fine. I'm alone now.
Do we have any magic that can prevent him from listening to us magically? I don't think I do.
I don't.
Well,
Okay, well, I will say the first part at a normal volume, and I will say that we just found out from Gerbo that when he was here, he communicated with Emmaus telepathically, and there's more to Emmaus' state than it seems. He was at a very evil place with intense Malcor influence, and it had some kind of effect on him. And part of the reason why he is the way he is now is to protect himself from assassins.
Wait. That's not possible. I've tried many times to read my father's thoughts, and I've never been successful in getting anything out of them.
Well, the knowledge that Gerbo had, he could not have gotten any other way.
Why
I,
would he hide even from me? And Lorson.
Gerbo said he didn't know who to trust. But I guess he trusted Gerbo, or maybe he had no other choice, but this was revealed to Gerbo. And we think it's of utmost importance to possibly your entire world that Emmaus is protected.
Listen, I know he went to Shadowheart in the past, and I think it left him in the state he's in, but it just doesn't make sense. Roll persuasion.
All right.
God.
All right. Nice.
Listen,
Well, you saw an assassination here tonight, so.
that's true.
And I wish Gerbo would have told us about it earlier, but he just now did. And I thought it was, me and Cella thought it would be important to tell you immediately to protect him. And another thing I need to mention, and I'll say it as quietly as I can for him to hear it. I'll say, Eldrin used magic that was not good. We saw Eldrin use dark magic, and when I asked him about it, he was lying. I don't know what is behind that, but make of that what you will. I'm not saying that Eldrin is evil or that there's anything I don't know what he's hiding. It may be nothing, but it is something that you should be suspicious of, and perhaps tell some of the other mages about it. It wasn't just the fact that he used dark magic, it was the fact that he lied about it.
True.
Perhaps he was just embarrassed, maybe, but I'm not going to jump to any conclusions. I'm just telling you why I didn't want him to be here.
Lorson was the one who hired Eldrin, put him in his post, in fact. I don't know much about him personally, but I do know this. His mother was killed by a roving band of former Circle of the Moon druids.
Mm.
He was young. It was quite graphic. Lorson only told me that in confidence one day, but he ended up getting his vengeance, and he was probably by becoming one of the most accomplished mages I've ever seen. Perhaps he didn't do it alone.
Like I said, we didn't see him take any actions that made us assume he had bad intentions. It's just the lying about the dark magic is what I was afraid of.
Yes.
So just keep that in mind. Perhaps there's someone else you trust that you could, a arcane expert that could help you figure out what's going on with him. But the more important issue is Emmaus. That's why we came here.
I see.
We plan to leave tonight to flee and go on to the next temple to continue doing our work. I trust that this will be all right with Eldrin and your god for the sake of protecting Gerbo.
We cleared out the temple, but there are obviously cultists here in the city,
Well,
but
There-
there's not much we can do about that.
they're well,
That'll
There-
unfortunately be on you to deal with.
well, unfortunately, I am not great at. I don't exactly have much of a public face like my brother did, and well, I didn't really have an intention to rule, honestly.
Well, when the time comes, the public doesn't matter. What matters is making logical decisions and getting the job done.
Yes. Let me just say that there could be other forces besides just those druid cultists that perhaps wanted my brother dead.
What do you
Uh,
suspect?
I would rather not get into too many details, but it has more to do with our Amakiran politics.
Can you perhaps tell us or give us a hint at who we should be suspicious of?
My brother spent a great deal of time talking to other houses. He always believed that it was in our best interest as a people to, well, reunify one day. And others agreed with him, and others not so much. In particular, well, the Council of the Arcane in Amakira, the capital city itself.
The timing certainly makes it seem like it was the cultist, but that's a solid second option.
At any rate, we will continue our investigation, and we will also be, well, we know a lot about Jedri already, but there's always more to learn, it seems.
Yeah, poor guy. This will probably ruin his business.
Not the first time, probably won't be the last.
Yep.
I'm not particularly worried. I believe Mr. Posner has many revenue streams.
He'll probably be fine as long as he doesn't end up in jail.
Well, it depends on how clean he's kept himself since the last time we had to haul him off to a dungeon.
Well, I wish Garbo would not have brought us there tonight, but there's no sense in worrying about that now.
Right.
Thank you.
I just wish my brother came with more of a guard or something. We should have put up more of a defense. I mean, like you
I'm
said,
not sure there's much you could do. Cella was standing right in front of him. We were nearby. We didn't really see anything.
huh,
And a lot of other patrons were around too.
right. It'll be hard to get at the truth with so many different people obscuring it.
Well, it might be hard to do, but I suggest trying to focus more on the greater powers at play here in Emmaus than smaller crimes.
At that point, Volmer kind of stiffens up a bit. And he's doing a fairly good job of keeping a straight face, but starting to break a little when you say that, Ephelien.
Mhm.
He says, easier said than done.
I understand. I lost a brother in a unhappy way.
Well, if you don't mind, send my regards to Gerbo,
We will.
and I wish he would. I wish he could be here with us. After all, there are many arrangements that still need to be made, but
It might not be a bad idea for you to go into hiding too, but I understand if that would make it too difficult to organize everything.
yes. House Aldrin has to be defended.
Did Eldrin step into the room?
Yeah,
Like,
like he's
when we were in?
yeah, like he's at the very least in another room.
I'll step in there where he went.
Okay.
I assume he's in that room waiting
Yes.
on the other end of the balcony.
Yes. He's even tapping his foot with his arms crossed around his shoulder, his chest.
I'll go and shake his hand and say, "You fought well down there. I wish we could have parted on better terms."
Indeed. He'll take it and shake your hand.
And I'll do my best to make it where Cella maybe doesn't have to speak to him at all.
Fair.
I'll go back outside.
Perfect. Cella loves it. She's super happy about it.
You what?
Cella's very happy to not have to talk to Eldrin again.
Yeah, fair enough.
Volma, I wish you the best. Death is only the next chapter. Your brother is not in distress. You will go on leading your people well, and we will protect your brother as much as that is possible.
I hope he is at peace.
Cella.
He was having the time of his life when he went down. So.
Oh yes, he was quite a good dancer.
Well, I unfortunately was, I think, born, maybe not literally, but might as well have been born with 2 left feet, so.
Yeah, same.
I'm reconnecting. I don't
Okay.
know what happens. Cella turns into a giant eagle.
All right. I guess we fly away.
Volmer just turns and walks back inside. Silently, solemnly.
Badass exit.
Yep.
Fly
Yep.
away.
No better way. No better way. Okay, I'll retrieve my husband. You guys try to get Zach to come back.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna need to get him somehow.
Druid Ranger Gang.
Druid Ranger Gang. Rise
Nature
up.
Gang. Nature Gang.
Nature Gang, rise up.
Somehow the Nature Gang ended up doing the politics.
Yeah, how did that work? I'm just surprised you rolled such a high persuasion roll.
That was pretty lucky. I only have a +2.
I know.
I'm
Oh, man.
back.
Well,
Yeah.
Nature Gang took care of everything.
What happened now?
Wouldn't you like?
Nature Gang.
Oh,
We were
nature
the
gang.
FA
Nature
plus
Gang.
Cella equals Nature
That's
It's
amazing.
Nature Gang.
So now what happened with those two while we were gone?
Yeah. So what's going on with Gerbo and Braundir now that you guys have returned and Cella and Ephelien have done their thing?
Braundir was sleeping,
Was it just awkward silence the
Yeah.
entire time?
like pretty much.
Like was it Gerbo trying to attempt
Yeah.
to say something only to stop right before he finished the sentence?
I definitely knew what I had done
Right.
and knew that this was the time just to like let it be.
Sure.
And so I did up my tent and bedroll and everything and just waited for them to come back.
All right. So you guys returned very quiet camp.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like we're like climate activists and we keep yelling at people in positions of power to try to deal with the real problem.
Yeah.
That's all our campaign is.
Honestly, I kind of when I was thinking,
We're
like
all
when I looked back on like the setup, I'm just like, wait a minute, this is just a convoluted analogy for climate change, isn't it?
Yep. The elements are being corrupted. Yep, it's climate change.
Yep, the world is going in dire peril.
Wow.
Nobody knows what to do, and everyone is completely disorganized and disunified.
Still trying to
Yep.
fix their own local problems.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, we did it, guys.
Well,
It's all a metaphor.
everything's settled. We've told Volma and Eldrin that we will be leaving tonight. That we suspect that Gerbo is in danger. And that we will be protecting him from the would-be assassins who suspected that he was possibly Darkheart people. So, there's that. And we...
The hard. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I just think about it.
Because you're eating. Okay. I was going to say, the hardest part of all of this is I had to be nice to Eldrin.
Is it?
Just for a few seconds, though.
I was about to say, what a shame that is.
Right.
I didn't lie, though. He did fight pretty well down there.
Yeah.
At the
Really?
end. Not any of the rest of it, but
Oh, that's true.
at the end he did.
Hey, he did it where it counts, okay?
Yeah, that's true.
And you got to you found out a little bit. I actually did. I'm not gonna lie. The night at the Pink Pearl was gonna be Eldrin getting drunk and spilling some of his life at you.
Well, we had a good way to learn about it anyway.
True.
Well,
Anyway,
how did they take of my departure?
I understood.
He wished you could be there, but he seemed to be okay with you getting away for safety.
They don't suspect anything.
He didn't think of me as a coward?
Maybe he did. I don't know.
They don't suspect
That's-
you of murdering your brother, at the least. I would take that and be grateful.
I'd be more worried about Braundir.
Braundir opens a single eye and then shuts it again.
Did you see Talia?
no.
No.
She's going to be so worried.
Listen,
True.
I'm just saying there's a distinct possibility she might track you down. Anyway,
She'll write letters.
Amazing.
many letters.
That'd be amazing.
Well, would it be though?
It would be great storytelling.
Hmm. This has been good storytelling overall.
It's
Yes.
been very fun.
Oh wow.
Dealing with the
Zach,
consequences of a
set up
crazy
right now?
decision.
Jeez.
What is it?
He sent a photo of what he's doing
My
right
current-
now.
Yeah.
His current setup is a lot of dogs.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my god, Dog City.
Dog pool party.
Dog pool party.
So nice. I want to jump in.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's amazing. I love it.
Nice.
That's excellent.
Never seen your parents' place, Zach.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a little oasis out here. I have Willow and Olive, two Westies.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mhm.
Well,
Makes me feel a bit.
we need to tend to here. It does sound like you're leaving your childhood home in quite a bit of turmoil. But
Well,
I'm ready to move when you all are.
it's more turmoil than the last time I left it, but I guess I might never return, and I think that's okay. Did you decide where we will go?
We will have to locate the next temple.
Well, you've got 3 general locations.
I suppose we now need to decide
Well,
between just two. Yeah, just two. It It's either into the Badlands, the Temple of the Earth, to the south to an unknown location, the Temple of the Wind.
Deep
Don't
in
know.
the Palan.
Don't know that we actually know where the Temple of Fire is.
My vote would be a change of scenery. Maybe go to the south, but it doesn't really matter.
Yes, well, I think the south would be good. It's the furthest away from here. It definitely seems to be the most convincing with our story.
That's true.
Yes, let's take the gnome to the most dangerous place on this earth.
There is a
Close
war in the Badlands. It's
Mhm.
only going to get harder to get to that one. You could almost argue that we should do it now, while things are calm, but I like the idea of somewhere new. I haven't seen much of this world.
The Badlands doesn't reek of safety to me.
Not at all.
Well,
When if we have a
But hey, if anyone tries to pursue you, there's just as much of a chance of them dying to what's in the Badlands.
mhm.
So,
True.
Well, we don't want to go into the underways and run into the other party because that would be awkward.
it would be
No.
very weird.
that would be how our mashup happens.
Mhm.
I was honestly, okay, so again, so I think the timeline of events now is that when the other party comes out of the underways, it'll be right after you guys have left and Lorson's dead and the city's on lockdown and everything else. They're not going to be there for long. They just have to get some ships.
Mhm.
I'm just going to say that Valmer is going to agree or honor that Lorson's agreement that he made previously with the dwarves.
Yeah, I mean, those ships aren't doing much else anyway, so.
That's true. Guns and ships.
If he had to, like, send a bunch of troops, he might not do that. But
Right.
Ah!
What?
Oh, my brain. It took me a second. When you said little Sebastians.
Drew, that was only to you.
Yeah, I know.
Play it out. Go ahead. Play it out.
So Cella is going to send some kind of animal to fetch the little Sebastians.
Already did it.
Oh, now that's good.
It's already been done.
is this squirrel going to drive the car or something?
Yeah.
Because that would be good.
Yeah, those are cars gonna get back to us. No, they're just gonna be good little Sebastians. They're just gonna roll it right back to us.
Okay,
Yeah, maybe.
maybe.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys did like. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, you would probably have to go and get everything you left at that dock.
Oh, really?
I think so, because I mean that's where they got left, right?
Yeah, we stabled them there, so.
You stabled them there, and I mean they had nowhere else to
If
go.
we're going south, it's on the way,
That's
It's on the
true.
way.
Yeah.
That's true.
right? If
hmm
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't really have anything prepared because I didn't know what the hell was gonna happen.
Well, it's not like we can get across the continent, like, in one session. Or
No.
in 30 minutes.
No.
30 minutes even.
You do have a map. You do have a map for where we put the
That's
where we
true.
put the things,
Oh, no,
the little Sebastians.
that's right. It's here.
So I guess we're going to sleep in the woods and then walk down there. It'll probably take a while to get there.
You guys are finally gonna get a long rest.
Good. Need it.
You will. There's this little dock area. Nice little elven stuff.
I imagine the woods might not necessarily be super safe even now.
No, they're not.
Because we only killed the leader of the cult, like,
Yeah.
what, 6 hours ago or something?
Right. Like, there's not really. Like you would have to take watch for sure.
Okay.
I mean, even just traveling, I feel like it might not be super safe.
Yeah, even traveling could be dangerous. Actually, that's true.
Though it is my favorite terrain, so that helps, but it's still not going to help us avoid monsters.
Fair. I had a.
Birdie bird.
Let me think here. I actually did have a random encounter table set up for the forest.
Well, if you want us to run into a random encounter, I guess we have 20 minutes left.
Well, the problem is I don't know where it is. I have to
Oh,
find it.
okay. Well, maybe next time
Yeah,
if we encounter something.
I think so.
Oh.
Like I set it up though. I just have to find it again. Like I set up one for traveling through like the middle country, not the Midwest, but like
The equivalent of the
middle of
Midwest.
the continent, like kind of the middle of the continent, like outside of Durin,
Cut
that
through.
area.
We'll be back in that area soon. So.
That's right.
Yep. Yep.
Maybe you'll encounter a drunken dwarf again.
The breadbasket of
I
Palan.
hope so.
Yes.
I'm really mad that we didn't get to fake Gerbo's death.
Yeah, that would have been cool, but
There's always an opportunity.
it's still possible, honestly.
This is going to be like my does it count as a missile thing from
Yeah.
the Nahid.
Oh no, I would never do that to you again. At least not consciously.
Can I fake their death? Can I fake their death?
Yeah, can I?
Can I?
I mean, if they call Gerbo back on suspicion of him doing it, it'd probably be a good time to do it then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like I
Him
said,
back.
I did say I was going to play this out honestly and realistically.
Mhm.
And realistically, Gerbo would not be a prime suspect.
Yeah.
At least not
You know-
yet.
Oh,
What?
even though
The
it was,
only,
it did it.
Do
I
what?
think the only reason. Go ahead.
Sorry, Jet. What'd you say?
Even though it was even though it was his crossbow, the murder weapon was his crossbow.
True. But they haven't recovered the murder weapon yet.
Right.
Yeah,
There hasn't been enough time.
it's true.
And think about the chaos. Like that guy, that random dude who just unfortunately had an adventurers pack.
Mhm.
Like he probably went with the rest of the crowd. He was dispersed into the city. So I mean, they put the city on lockdown.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Mm-hmm.
That crossbow is a magic item, so
It's a magic item. Admittedly, they felt or they're probably gonna sniff the guy out, but it will take time.
Yeah.
And you guys ended up acting pretty damn quickly. Actually, I'm surprised.
it'd be interesting if they find it on the guy and then they do his own truth and he says he didn't do it. So then they're
Right.
like, well, someone planted it on him. Who did that?
Right, exactly. I mean,
And then it
that
just
is the
becomes a
next
cold case for
that's the
years.
next logical step. They'll have to figure out who, like, because that's. I'm just telling you, that's likely the next step.
Yeah, it'll be a cold case for years. At least that guy won't get executed, though.
Maybe, probably not. Maybe not.
Not that Ephelien cares, but
Well, yes.
I
But-
care.
Well, Braundir
Yeah.
cares.
You're going to be angry
absolutely.
for the rest of the campaign?
Yeah, angry Braundir.
I mean,
Well, he's
yeah,
a lawful good paladin or a lawful good barbarian, so he gets mad when people do evil shit.
right. Which is
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yes. And I mean, dwarves, I imagine, can hold a grudge forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are a stubborn people.
And it's like I felt
Oh.
like I was two.
You're what?
I said Braundir feels like he would. I don't know, like
He was
taken
betrayed.
advantage of, maybe, even though he didn't ask. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just cutting out a
like
little bit.
taken advantage of, maybe, like his kindness was like used without him even knowing it. I
Yeah.
don't know, like acting instinctively, and then like, how dare you put me in that situation? Like what is
No,
that?
yeah, no.
And so
That is honestly, that's probably the most realistic response
Hmm.
out of everyone's responses. Because I mean, yeah, that's totally fair.
Yep.
The question is how that's going to play out from here.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna play out from here.
That's going to be some more interesting
gonna
group
be,
dynamic.
oh man. Is there going to
Well,
be
Gerbo,
Braundir lets Gerbo die?
well, Gerbo had to get consequences in some way. It might just be from Braundir.
It's true.
Yeah. Yep. And then he can never return to Amakira. Well, not to House Aldrin again.
So okay. It's also weird how there's a parallel between you two now.
Oh, yeah.
Not that Braundir can never return to Durin, but you needed to leave.
Hmm.
No, it is. It
Yeah.
is. We have a Burr Hamilton situation here.
What?
Hmm. Yeah.
Aaron Burr and
Well-
Alexander Hamilton, like their
Oh.
storylines are actually very.
Bert. I thought you said Bert. Bert Hamilton reporting for duty.
Name's Burham.
Burr Ham.
Oh my god.
No, yeah. I mean, there are some parallels, but Braundir doesn't feel sorry for Gerbo.
No, you probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that Braundir doesn't feel.
But yeah, it is an interesting complex to play out.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just surprised. I was expecting this to like consume sessions upon sessions. Like
I think it's going to be more of a simmering thing.
it's gonna be simmering, yes, but I expected it to be more immediate.
Back to haunt us.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be more of a group dynamic problem than anything.
Yeah. No, I like it. It's good. It's a good dynamic to have. It's something I can pull out anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it bothers Ephelien more than she puts on too, because her brother was murdered in front of her too.
Yes.
Oh.
Right.
She didn't do it, but
Yeah.
Right. She didn't do it, but yeah.
but yeah.
I thought I,
mean-
would have something in common with Ephelien.
I mean, that is how. I mean, that's how Ephelien kind of empathizes
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
with all.
Mhm.
Great deal.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
this is also
Cella's aunt killed her mom.
that's fair. Wow. I mean, I mean, Braundir's dad got murdered.
Why are you complaining about your family dynamic? Just kidding.
We all have tragic backstories. It's just Gerbo caused his own tragic backstory.
Because
It's just y'all got to experience mine.
yes, it just
Yeah.
happened.
Well, he was also an orphan that was discriminated
Gerbo just
against, so that's kind of a thing too.
True.
Yeah, he was sent away from his family.
Mm-hmm.
He was.
Triggered.
It's so good.
Well, interesting little plot twist there,
Yeah.
Gareth. I am like, oh, there's so many good side quests that we left in the Amakira forest, but it's
Oh.
like definitely what my character would want to do to get on to the next temple.
Yeah.
But I wonder about the Fountain of Wishes.
The pool of wishes.
Pool of
Wishes, yeah.
Wishes.
There's something with the pool of wishes.
And the I think I keep saying Dark Heart. Is that right?
Shadowheart.
Shadowheart. Shadowheart.
Shadowheart is in the Badlands.
Oh, gotcha.
We're definitely leaving behind problems that we'll probably have to deal with eventually
Yes.
later.
Stay tuned for campaign 3.
All right.
Yeah.
I actually have a picture of Volmer, or a picture that I think could work for Volmer.
Oh yeah.
Let me.
Let's see it.
I like Palmer a lot more anyway. It's fine. I don't care if you kill Lorson. Palmer's better.
Well, I mean, yeah. Look, I'm just glad I didn't invest anything really into Lorson, at least planning wise.
Yeah, we were talking the other day, and I was like, "How much did I fuck up Drew's plans?" Like, I was like, how much?
I mean, it ended up not being a big derailment as much as I thought it could be or was gonna
Yeah.
be somehow.
I feel. I mean, I'll admit part of the reason why I was pushing to run away was so it wouldn't derail the campaign, but also I think it was logical.
It is logical.
That's what Ephelien would want to do.
Yeah.
Get to business.
Get to business.
But yeah, I think it always feels good as a DM when your players' decisions greatly affect the world.
Yes.
Because it makes you feel like you're not the one deciding everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that's good. That's good. Because obviously that's a pretty big decision. And like, I mean, obviously you heard what Jet said, and I was like, I looked at her and I was like, so is this when I kill him? Like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, and then she's, what?
Yeah. Yeah. I thought you meant Jedrig. So
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
It's pretty nuts.
I mean, Jedri might rot in a cell for this.
Yeah.
Jedri,
He probably deserves
So-
it. So.
he probably deserved it.
Here's what came across my screen when Gerbo did that.
Yep.
I'll never forget when I did that, and then my game saved right after.
With this character,
And it
Red
was like,
prophecy
well,
is severed. Restore save game to restore the wheel of fate. Restore the doomed world you have created. Lord.
What? From Morrowind? They would.
yeah. So in Morrowind, when you killed an essential character, that happened. That message comes up, and I did it and saved, and didn't realize that it was an essential character, and all that work I did just ruined my game, and now I just am like level 1,000,000, and I can't ever beat the game,
Yep.
so I stopped playing it. So
Dang.
Oh man.
All right,
I just went and
here's
I raided all the Druid temples. Oh, okay, cool.
Yes. That's
Oh,
actually
nice.
pretty close to kind of what I was thinking.
yeah.
Right.
You
Nice.
would not believe how hard it was to find art with an elf with glasses.
I have perfect vision. I still need the glasses though.
And I mean, his voice doesn't really quite match this rugged appearance, but
Yeah, he looks way more handsome than the voice would suggest.
Yeah.
right, yeah, exactly. He just kind of talks a little funny.
He's like Elf Johnny Depp.
But I mean, all elves are good looking anyway, so you
That's
can't really get around it.
That's
Yeah.
canon. Yeah, that's true.
But yes, I think this is a good picture for Lord Volmer going forward.
Yep.
Cool.
Uh,
Leader of House Aldrin.
That's right.
I like how we cliffhangered on the murder too, just like the Purple Wedding in Game of Thrones. Like Joffrey died, and then it just ended.
Yep.
And then the next episode was like all the aftermath. So
Yeah.
it reminds me of.
That's true. It's a good aftermath.
Well, cool guys.
Eh,
Well played. Well played.
yes.
Yeah, this will have long-lasting implications.
Yes.
What is what's everybody's schedule next week?
Yeah.
You know I'm good whenever.
Zach, that's on vacation next week. So what's your availability?
I'll be good for next Tuesday. Wednesday would be fine too if there's a conflict there. I mean, Thursdays are typically when the Badlands campaign's going.
Okay.
So, I mean, even Monday could work. The only thing I'll say is that not this week or this next week. So, if we say we can't do anything on the week of the 27th, I'll be on vacation, like at
Okay.
like Norfolk with my family. So,
Oh, which we'll be on the White River at the last week of August. So we'll be up in the general area.
If we can go
Yeah.
at this
so I have
rate.
to say, my mom was very interested in this whole murder situation. When I told her,
That's amazing.
That's funny. Do you tell your mom what happens in our campaign?
Only in the vaguest of terms. I told her about Gareth, this character, decided to kill a lord of the city they're in. Like, oh wow. I'm just like, yeah. I said I'm probably gonna have to figure out the law and justice.
Yes, the high courts
of the society here.
Yes. Will there be a jury?
Honestly, there would probably not be a jury. Rather, the purview of justice would fall to the lord or lady.
Yeah.
Though I do think there would probably be a certain tradition where if the lord or lady felt that they couldn't like adequately deal out justice, they may appoint a third party.
Mhm.
Right.
And that could be an adjudicator from elsewhere, or even another lord from another house,
Or a magic user.
or
that
even
can
a
break the
magic
laws
user.
of reality.
Right. So yeah, I mean, it's basically, I mean, it's still a medieval society essentially. So, especially in a high profile case like that, I mean, gosh.
It would be if there was like no doubt at all, then it's understandable that like something would happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think Zone of Truth would probably be rare in Amakira because there's not very many clerics.
Right.
Probably in Palan it would be a lot more common.
Oh yeah, no, I almost imagine like it'd be just like standard operating procedure in Palan, basically.
Mhm.
So
I would think about Clint McElroy, Zone of Truth.
I cast Zone of Truth.
Right.
And just he keeps casting it.
I forgot his character's name.
Oh geez. I don't know what is.
It's Taco, Magnus,
No. There was Magnus, Taco, and
Pearl High Church.
Yes,
Merle Highchurch.
that's it.
Merle. Yeah.
Merle. I like
They're-
Clint a lot. I feel like they're really shitting on him this season, and it makes me sad. I don't know if you guys have kept up with the Adventure Zone.
I need to.
Yeah, I listened to the episode yesterday. Yeah, I think that well, they don't get on to them for not talking to character as much. When none of them talking character, which is good. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's probably therapeutic for them to do that. I would guess.
I mean, you gotta
However
remember
weird
they
that
are
may
father
sound.
and sons, right?
I just can never notice it in
Yeah,
other.
and they probably have a closer. Yeah, like I talked to and Raz, my sister, in a way that Sydney's like, what? He's like, oh no, it's fine, and it really is
My
fine.
sister,
But
it's
to
okay.
a third party, it makes it weird.
Right.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
like,
I hear.
so maybe they have something like that.
I think it's
but-
gotta be.
yeah, they are pretty hard on them, but
And think about it. I mean, when your sons are all basically
I'm-
professional comedians,
That's true.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
I mean,
true. That's what he's.
you're kind of the butt of a lot of jokes.
like the second you do.
I was listening to my brother.
Oh yeah.
Y'all ever listen to my Bim Bam? Y'all ever listen to that?
Yes, it's
Oh, yeah.
so
Oh yeah. It's been hard for me to
So
listen because I've just been everything's felt really heavy, and it just before that I was listening to every episode.
they do a pretty good job about balancing out COVID realities with their current episodes. And right now they've been deferring all of their sponsorship money to charities and stuff, which has been really cool. But there was one episode where they were talking about a person asked a question about like those crazy tiger blankets that everybody had in the like
Wow.
90s. And they were like, where did those come from? And why did we have them? And then they got on the internet and they found like the company that made all those tiger blankets is like, guys, like they said, we had this tiger blanket in our house. How did we get this blanket inside our house? It's like that had to be a dad thing. It's like, let's call Dad right now. And they call Clint on the show, and he was like, "Oh, you're asking that to us." It's like, "Oh, because I could have sworn that you brought this thing in, and what was it that you looked at this and said, I'm buying this tiger blanket?" You know, it's just, God, they're so funny. Oh man, that's such a good episode. But yeah, there's all these radical like rainbow tiger blankets and stuff, and it's just black and white. It's oh man.
Blankets.
Yeah, I love
So,
everything.
yeah,
that
I
they
do.
turn out. I would show sometime.
Gosh.
This episode of War of the Gods, sponsored by the McElroy brothers, and
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
McElroy brothers.
so should we
The
name this?
McElroy family.
Yes. What?
What should we name the episode? Gerbo's Remorse. Days of Our Lives.
Gerbo's big whoops.
Yeah.
I'll put
Oops.
Whoopsie.
What is it?
Oops.
someone
Suicide
said something that I
Runaway. Suicide or Runaway.
Nope. Not feeling it.
What did you say, Brett?
someone said something and I put it on the Twitch. It's
Oh,
Suicide or
Gerbo.
Runaway?
Gerbo's Last Stand.
Not feeling it.
What did you say, Brett?
That's what someone said something and I put
That's
it on
perfect
the Twitch.
because it's not his last stand.
Yeah, so it makes like you would
Oh.
think like, oh, it is.
Is Gerbo gonna
yeah.
die?
Yeah.
No.
There you go.
I mean, he
it's
might
alive.
get murdered by
Like
Braundir.
everything Gerbo does.
Yeah, I definitely thought about it. It was thought about pretty heavily, honestly.
I mean, I'm way more. Let's just say, like, if the situation calls for it, I'm way more likely to just kill players if I have to.
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
fine with it.
Well, we're at the level where we can resurrect people, so
That's right. You guys are at that level now, so I don't have to hold back.
Yep.
With the
Go.
Badlands campaign, I've given them the resources to resurrect people, and so I'm going to try and kill them now.
And now this is where I kill you.
That's right.
Then you shall die.
All right, guys.
Yeah, I need to hit the hay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, you've been up for a while.
I know what that feels like.
Yeah.
By the way,
For
just
sure.
one spot of happy news. The first vaccine trial data was published today in the New England Journal, and it looks pretty good actually. I was just perusing it. Sorry if I look distracted. I've been waiting for this. It produced a good immune response in every participant. No trial limiting safety concerns. They're going to push forward with development.
Good. There's been a lot of good news on the vaccine front, it seems, in general.
Good.
That's what's kept the stock market afloat, basically.
yeah. We just got to be skeptical of it if it comes from China or Russia or Brazil.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, no, these are the last names on the paper are Jackson, Anderson, and Roberts. So I'm betting.
It doesn't get more English or American than that.
Yeah, I would trust an English one more than an American one, to be honest.
That's also true. Yeah.
Yeah. So little bright spot. in our
That
day.
is a bright spot. We gotta. Maybe there's something at the end of this. So have we decided? Did we decide it would be next Tuesday? Is that okay with everyone?
That works for me.
I think so.
All
Gareth,
right.
that works?
Yeah, I'm putting it on the calendar right now.
Cool.
Good.
All right.
Exciting stuff.
Well, we will see you guys
Yep.
then.
All right. See you guys next time.
Okay,
See you next time.
laters.
All right.
New temple.